Well, greetings, blade fans. This is going to be large frame lock day. Brand new knife in designed by Morgan Koens for Bestech. And Morgan is known for making or designing large folders, and of course, also known for making fixed blade knives. An excellent custom maker. If you haven't seen any, there are a number of them that have been reviewed on my channel. So here we are. The Keen 2. I was not aware of a Keen 1, but something makes this knife very special. Not sure if in the light you can see it, but Morgan has annodized this titanium side himself in a deep antique bronze, and it looks really cool. So the back spacer is done, as well as the clip and the titanium lock bar side. This is a large folder. We're going to measure it up shortly. I had a choice of a few. Now Morgan had gotten some samples in of this knife, so I may or may not be getting this ahead of the production availability of it, but it has been advertised on Bestech. So what we've got here is an S35 VN blade. There's Morgan's signature and little short fuller there. Not sure if it's going to serve a purpose or not. Looks like, yeah. Looks like we can finger flick it open. This has got a little bit of a stiff detent initially, and that may change over time. But really nice carbon fiber. I had my choice of a weave carbon fiber or a marble. I just happen to like the shininess, the reflection of the weave better than the marble. That's just me. It has jimping, and it's a very effective jimping. However, it's in the frame, and that's fine because it's a large handle, and that's where your thumb ends up. You can stretch forward and there's no jimping, but you can still stretch forward if you want to. Otherwise, that's perfect placement for the jimping, and it definitely works. And we've got a little run of jimping towards the pommel. And I'm not sure the effectiveness of that other than being, cosmetic. It might help in this position if you were to hold it here. I'm really not sure. For me, it doesn't do anything. But again, we can allow for lots of things that are cosmetic that make the knife look a little nicer. We've got a slot for a lanyard here. And so it's not hidden, but it kind of fits the contours. It kind of fits that flat on the back of on the pommel. But just look at that really nice carbon fiber and a nice stone wash on the blade. And the closing action pretty much drops shut. Just give it a little flick. Thumb studs only on this guy, double thumb studs. It's going to break in and be even smoother, but it is running on bearings. We've got a visible stop pin and a hardened steel insert for the lock bar. But again, I've got a good 1.5 inches maybe left over, and I'm not even choked all the way up. Really nice contours. You've got placement for 2 fingers, and you've got placement for your last 2 fingers there. Kind of a double swale, if you want to call it that. Really, really nice. So let's take a look at what we've got for size. It ain't going to be small. Oh no, it's, oh my God, longer than I thought. Better than 9 3/4, coming right up on 10 inches. A blade of 4 1/4. This is big for production knives these days, I must tell you. with the all the rage being smaller knives, it seems, 3.5 inches or what have you. Let's check out the blade stock in millimeters. 3.9, call it a 4 millimeter blade stock. Switching to inches, make sure I only have the blade there, 0.14, and a nice thin handle. I would call it thin for this size knife, of 0.54, so slightly over 1/2 inch. Does not feel wide in the hand whatsoever. And let's see what this guy weighs. Okay, we've got 5.28 ounces. So, yeah, not going to make the ounce per inch equation, if you want to call it that. But it definitely does not feel heavy in the hand. It is not a sinker. I mean, for this size knife, 5 ounces is completely appropriate and possibly even on the lighter side. I've got knives this size that are weighing in close to 7-8 ounces. So really nice on this one. Let's take a look at it next to a couple companions I have here. The Shikari, also designed by Morgan, made by Concept. It is, if you know the Shikari and you like large knives, the Keen 2 is a good 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch longer. Crazy. And one of my favorites, the Togata by Bestech. And let's put the Togata up here. Let's see if we can slide them all down. And let's see, even them up the best I can. Okay, so Togata, the smallest, even though it's a fairly large knife in its own right, definitely the Keen 2 at 4¼ inches is going to be the largest knife. And this is not a small knife, the Togata, but look at the beautiful work on the Togata with this swirl G10. Green and black. This one's interesting because this came from White Mountain, but it's completely sterile. There's no markings on it. Morgan's thinking it might have been either a production sample or they just missed the laser on it, but it makes it kind of special. I believe it's an M390 knife, could be 20 CV, hard to tell, but I did do a review on it and the specs are there. You can always check the specs on the Togata. The 20 CV on the Shikari, it's a beautiful knife. Bowie style long clip. We got the same thing going on here. You can see it's very similar, but maybe a little bit more of a forward belly. I'm not sure. And the Togata is a chisel pointed tanto. Really, really nice. Well, let's take a look at it for size comparison next to something familiar. Next to the Griptilian. And it makes the Griptilian look like a shrimp. How about next to the usually large Rat 1 from Ontario? And if we even up the pommels, you can see good 1.5 inches or so longer overall, with that blade coming in close to 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch maybe longer. These comparisons are tough sometimes, unless you have a grid. And I moved away from using a cutting mat with a grid a while ago. So there you go, a really fantastic new design from Morgan Koens, produced by Bestech. Beautiful job. We'll open and close it a few times for you. Just perfectly drop shut. That's going to vary from, as they say, your mileage may vary. Sample to sample, going to be a little bit different. Just look at that really nice carbon fiber on that side. I know a lot of people would prefer to have the material on both sides, but I think with the nice anodizing here, and I could have gone with a really wild anodizing, I just don't care for the really rainbow stuff. To me, this looks really, really professional. Would that be the word? I don't know. I like the look with that bronzed anode titanium. But there you go. Once again, the Keen 2. Bestech, Morgan Koens. Great collaboration. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe. I will be back with you soon.